don't even know.
Hey everybody, how's it going? This is Aaron and Austin's show.
Yep, number 9.
We are here with the Joshes from Revisionist.
Thanks for doing this, guys, as always.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah. Get out and see some shows. We got the Muse show. Tell us a little bit about that. What's going on
the
Friday?
Muse show is Dispositions with Terrence Severance and Atria. Should be a pretty badass metal show for Friday the 13th.
Friday the 13th. Nice. All right, we'll pause for the graphic a little bit. Go see some local shows, guys. Well, here we are. So, again, thanks for doing this, guys. Rocking Johnny's new shirt that he gave me the other day. He was gracious enough to give me a shirt I had to pay for it anyway.
I saw you guys went to Kirby's and gave away a ticket. Did that work out?
Yeah, not too bad. Kirby's was nice to accommodate us. We just went up there and hung out, me and Johnny, and the Cosmic Beam drummer out of nowhere just hit me up and was like, hey, we're doing this show, and they had a cancellation, so they had a fairly national artist come named Fox Royale that I didn't know about, which was a fun band. So sat up there and tried to give away a T-shirt and a ticket. So that was a good time.
It's usually not hard to give away a T-shirt and a ticket to a show.
No, yeah, and just hopefully, and that show's going on tonight. People are gonna be sweating their ass off at the Wave.
Is that that's the Wave show?
Yeah, it's the you have to remind me the band from Beavis and Butthead that he called this something.
Guar.
No,
it's not Guar.
Guar would be awesome if that was.
But Guar is coming.
Yeah,
to
they
Temple
are
Live.
coming to Temple Live.
Oh,
yeah,
and
they
Temple
are.
Live just had their first sold out show.
Yeah.
So kudos to them. I'm not. Cool. You guys always just let me drown with names. I love it. How you guys are just like, we'll see what he says.
Oliver Peck.
Yeah.
Orville Peck.
Orville Peck. Is that what you
Orville Peck, yeah.
Oliver Peck is a tattoo artist.
Are you guys familiar with that guy, Orville Peck?
I saw that it was
listened to him like a couple days ago.
Right. So
he makes me think of like a modern day Elvis with his voice.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah, see, that's the same thing. Like, they're like sold out show at the Temple, and it was like a day before it was happening. And I was like, okay, let me go check. I went and YouTubed this stuff, of course, like you do.
Yeah.
So he wears this fringed
unique
mask.
Yeah.
He's never shown his face in public.
Oh, really? So no one knows what he looks like?
Yeah.
So he's kept it up the whole entire time?
Yeah.
Well, good for him.
He's like the DJ Marshmallow of the
country world.
Yeah, of like the alt country.
I listened to like 4 or 5 of his songs. I mean, he has got one of those super deep, like,
it's really good.
Yeah, rich voice. Like, I mean, to sell out Temple for the first time. So,
well,
I don't know how many people that place holds.
I think it's close to 1,000.
To sell out that number of show in Wichita, that's surprising. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, because Orville Peck's a good name, but he's not like a huge.
I never heard of him.
I never heard of him either.
Like
I never heard of him
building
either.
up and up and up
Yeah.
and up.
He must have a hell of a show. He must put on a hell of a show, because I heard the Wave was rocking. People were worried about the floor falling in. Or not the Wave, the Temple.
Yeah.
But I've heard that place.
It's crazy, but like I've been underneath like where the stage is at when there's that many people there, and you can see some of it like swaying. But apparently, it was all built with all these like crazy steel I-beams that are made to have flex,
and they held the seats.
Right. So it's supposed to have a little bit of
so
like,
it's not as sketch as it quite as it seems.
No, not at all. But the first couple times I was there and it was like that, you're like, oh man.
And I'm a big dude. I walk out onto a floor that's a little mattressy. I'm like, well, I might stick to the edges.
it was built to have this like little bit of like
trampoline action
movement to
yeah,
it.
well, that's
so.
shit. I was bouncing in there. That's for sure.
That'd be rad. We just have a huge, super strong trampoline for metal shows.
Yeah, but I mean, like always, I can't say enough about that place. It's so cool. I mean, it's a cool venue. You guys ever played there?
Yeah, twice.
Nice.
Yeah, we did a co-headliner with Parallax.
Yeah.
The first one, and then the second one we played with Struggle Jennings
Tommy Beck.
Tommy Bex.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Awesome. You guys have some really cool shows coming up, actually. You've been hitting Oklahoma City, Tulsa,
Arkansas. We were playing a big
Where?
festival in Illinois called Audio Feed.
and that's the huge festival. That's like,
It's a pretty big one, yeah.
yeah. How many bands are playing that? I was seeing the flyer. It's like this tall of
I didn't count how many, but there's
Yeah.
100.
How many stages is it, like a multi-stage type of thing?
Four.
They run it through in is it like those new festivals where we do like 1-2 days, or is it like
It's
5 day
days.
setup,
It's
3 days.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
So do you get to play one set of the 3 days, or do you?
So
get...
it's ran similar. There used to be a festival called Cornerstone that was in Illinois that I have been in bands that play there for years, and it's camping while you're there. And then people will bring like unofficial stages. They'll bring like generators and PAs and stuff.
Nice. You can kind of just pop up.
So like shit. If it's, I've heard that it's similar to that. I haven't actually been to audio feed, so I don't know. But like with that festival, you used to like have to have one of your band members that's responsible wake up at like 6 a.m. and go to wherever that stage is, and then hope you make like you're there before the other bands to try to get your name on the list.
Yeah,
and if you're good at networking, there might be. I mean, at that festival, there's probably 20 generator stages, so you might get on 3 times that day. But the goal is, and there's a ton. Like that festival is 25,000 people, so you wanted to play all week as much as possible.
As much. You're just trying to hit that as much as possible. Yeah.
This isn't quite. It's similar people that run it, and I've been told it's a real similar vibe. So we're expecting to. We're playing on Friday, but we're expecting to be trying to like hustle into playing other slots too. Mm-hmm. So
you get like one kind of guaranteed slot, and then they're like, see what you can roll off with all these other like type stages. That's good. That's kind of a cool idea.
Yeah, it'll be a cool experience. And then they've booked us a couple different times, and COVID killed the festival a couple times.
Yeah, I was about to ask how has that been to run through that bullshit.
But it's good though. So like they got us back on, which is awesome of them. And I'm actually really excited to play it. So
yeah, that would be really cool.
Good. And then we're doing a pre-show for it the day before in that town. We're doing
where and when is that?
It's in Champaign-Urbana on, I think our set is the 1st of July.
Nice.
So the one we're booked on the official festival stage for. So
nice. Festivals are always so fun. And I got introduced to those. There's a couple here around Wichita for a while. The Walkeroosa Festival used to be in Lawrence, and then what's the one in Winfield? That's kind of crazy.
Oh, Bluegrass.
The Bluegrass Festival. Yeah.
And they have those same kind of generator stages that show up. Like, I think last time I went, stage 5 was the last like unofficial stage, or the first unofficial stage. I think they're up to like stage 9.
Yeah, that festival that I was talking about, it's crazy. Like I'm the older guy in the band, so this was forever ago. But I remember seeing bands that like you would never think now they've gotten such elevated stature now. That bands like I remember playing in the dirt with bands like a Double Oars Prada, bands like Plead for Purging. POD played one of the if you were lucky enough, you got to see them with, and it'd be just crowds of people. If something caught your attention, you need to look up videos of it. But seeing a crowd of 200 people in the dirt, like sweating their ass off, just
that's a cool vibe.
Hanging out,
so really cool.
Like it's almost like you're competing with the other little generator pop-ups, like who can like jam that shit the hardest and bring your little and bring the big circle.
I was too young to go, so I was never able to see that. But
are you the young guy in the band?
I am. Yeah, I am.
You're close to my age. I'm 43. Or you're 43. I'm 38. 37. That's why I thought we were close. So how old are you?
I'll be 25 this month.
Oh, 25. So they gotta look after you.
But no, those festivals where those bands are emerging from like that, I think they've always held like that kind of cutting edge of the music scene. It's the bands that are out there and just struggling. Those are the bands that actually show up for those festivals and make the most out of it. And then,
and a lot of them too. There's like a bunch of like label or industry people that also frequent those things, and you never hear from them.
Yeah, it's true too.
So a lot of it. I mean, the band that I was in at the time back then. I mean, I remember the first time we got like a label rep talking to us was because I think the band played 6 or 7 times over a week.
And you got seen.
And then somebody saw it, and then it didn't manifest until probably 6 months to a year later. But they were like, "Oh, well," but it was we got a radar because of that. So.
I bet consistency has something to do with that.
Well, they probably see that hustle.
Well, they're hustling for 7
sets,
and they're probably going, these guys are trying hard. Each one of these sets sound pretty good. They're keeping it all together on each one. It's not wildly erratic, and
you can tell like the crowds grow. Like I remember there was bands I remember seeing that the first time I was like, "Oh, this is really cool," and then all of a sudden you start recognizing members like, "Oh, that's that band," and you start paying attention, and you get excited because you'll be walking around and be a whiteboard. Like where you're like by the stage. There's not going to be playing, but you can see what the lineup for that day is. And then you're like, oh, that's that band. And so I'm going to, and you'd be running around like writing down times. Like, I got to catch this and remembering where these like little nuggets of awesomeness are at because it's not like an official thing. So you got to remember like what stage was where at what lineup. So
Do you guys do that? Do you guys do that a lot when you're actually playing those festivals too? Is there like some people that you guys are trying to catch too?
Not
really.
A
You
lot
guys
of
always just
festivals
focus
have
on your
gotten
stuff.
way more like corporate's the wrong word, but like very organized and like there's not a lot of room for that.
Real linear. So you gotta go. Yeah. So you just like pace through the whole
Yeah.
part of it. Yeah.
So, but there's still some stuff that's like that. You know, I mean, we would be the band that would bring our own generator and set up in the parking lot if we had to, like just.
We talked about doing that for Furnace Fest.
Yeah.
Just
showing up.
Just showing up,
playing outside.
Yeah, I mean, you could even like, I mean, I don't know how I'm not a musician, so I'm just spitballing this shit in the midair. Like, you could even pull like a tiny little mowing trailer and like set up on top of that. And
no, that'd be. I think
would that be a pain in the ass?
No, I think it would create like a barrier between you and the crowd.
So you normally just do it flat on the ground and just face to face with them?
It sounds ridiculous,
that sounds great.
Like there's like some stages you get like a small stage is almost worse than playing no stage.
Really?
Okay. Like there's a.
I've never been on stage, so I'll take your word for it.
Well, it's weird.
All you guys.
There's some weird thing in like people's psyche. It feels like, and this is not science. I'm an idiot.
We're bro science and all the time. All the time. There's no better science.
It feels like people, it creates this like weird like wall in the room. Yeah. So people will be 4 or 5 feet away from the front of whatever that stage is. And it's really weird to come up to something that's like a little trailer or something. Whereas if we're like on the ground with you connected and you pull everybody in, it's easier to get people to like, I want people in my way, in my space.
You put anything on the ground, or you're just standing around on the fucking ground?
You just stay on the ground and go.
But, bro, nice. But tell me you've been hitting the teeth with some boom stand microphone. Like, here you are singing, and some kid, like, knocks that microphone into
a story
your
about
teeth.
doing something like that. So I was in a band in Kansas City called Snakehound. I was doing vocals for him. At the time, my buddy Jake was playing drums and asked me to do that. And so we did, like, a super short, like, 4 or 5 day, like, little tour run, whatever. And one of the shows, it was in Chicago, and I was just like doing my thing, and it's like a hardcore band, so I'm doing my thing and whatever. I throw the mic in the air and I catch it. I go down and like let out this massive scream, and I miss, and the mic hits my cheekbone, and I dent the mic.
Did you get the?
I dented the mic.
Did you get dented by the mic too?
Oh, it was there for a week and a half. It was there for a week and a half, and it was so embarrassing.
Looked like you got assaulted by a mini wheat.
Yeah.
Well, at least it was your own fault.
That's so. I've never had like.
Yeah, because I mean, you'd be exponentially more pissed if it was a fan's fault.
No, and that's how it is. You're up there singing and you're doing what you're saying. You're on the floor, and then like they're going nuts up there, man. They're just having fun.
Yeah.
But inevitably, some kid just.
There's some of my favorite shows have been like that. I don't know if you guys remember Headway Skate Park in town. It's actually where Tour Box used to be. Tour Box is, I mean.
Okay.
There used to be a skate park in there, and they did shows.
Right on.
And I mean, I'm not from the area, but I used to like be in a band from a railroad that toured through here, and they would set up in the half pipe and just like pull kids in, and it would just be chaos. And so sometimes it was like, I love playing those like big rad stages, but like there's something just like raw about being like pulling in. Because we did last year. We did a show with My Own Funeral and Hourglass at Tour Box just so we could do something.
Yeah,
and it was still in the middle of like all the pandemic stuff, and there's probably like.
Where'd you have to go to do that show?
Tour Box. Yeah, we just set up on the floor and played, and I mean, there's probably 200 people there.
You know that space, Tour Box? All right, so that's Jeff Corbett.
Thank you for knowing. I had no idea.
No, it's all good.
I was like, yeah, sure.
When you have nothing to say, I just kind of assume, okay, he has no input here. I better. But no, Jeff Corbett's space, and it's this big like.
It's a studio.
Like double Quonset hut kind of building. And he's built this really cool stage environment, and it's big enough to really throw shows. Yeah.
Okay.
It's big enough in there to throw shows. He does a lot of rehearsals.
Yeah.
Practice. He rents out for practices.
Yeah.
They don't do a lot of shows there.
They've been building a studio in there, and like one room, it's like Jeff's vault, and it's like just these are Marshall stacks over here. These are
awesome.
huge bass amps. There's a Leslie,
there's just something about being close to people. Like,
yeah, I get that.
It's weird. Like,
a little more intimate with the crowd.
You gotta think too. It's like everybody wants to play the big stages, but it's like 200 people in like a temple is not near as much fun on a big stage like that because you can see that it's pretty empty in there.
Yeah.
But then 200 people packed into a 2-car garage and it's chaos. is something we've been talking about forever.
Yeah.
Now that has nothing to do with nothing bad about Temple. I just
You remember Tony broke his leg?
Yeah.
And we all carried him out?
Yeah.
You know, like,
it's crazy. Like, I think a girl had a seizure at that show. I don't remember, but
Which one?
at the tour box show, I think
Oh,
our
really?
lights,
I thought
we had like lights, and I think some girl got taken.
Oh,
I felt so bad, but
yeah. I mean,
I
feel like if you have epilepsy and you gotta like watch out for all concerts.
Yeah.
Maybe. I mean, not to poke fun at anybody with epilepsy at all, but I mean, that would be a tough one to go. You'd hardly be able to go to any shows.
Yeah.
I think the small stage thing also, we were talking about this last time in Tulsa, but it's like it also makes me as an artist feel like I have like this is my spot that I'm supposed to be in.
Yeah, I got you.
And so coming off the stage feels weird.
Yeah, it feels different.
Yeah. So
one thing that I hate is when when me and my band will hit a big stage like you're talking about, and we try to use the whole stage, and now I can't hear my drummer. I can't like cue my guitar player that's way over there. You know what I mean? Like
we just transferred over to doing all I.E.Ms.
Yeah.
And so
do you dig that? Because that's kind of like one of those.
Before you go too much further, for the
in-ear monitors.
Thank you. Not everyone, and it's not just me. Bear with me, people. They don't know. We don't know everything. Tell us what that I.E.Ms. We don't know what that is.
In-ear monitors, right? So you can hear everything, and usually you can dial in your own mix. You know, like.
So are you talking to your just? You can tell me. Explain.
I'm not in the CIA.
So basically, what it is we.
Hey man, I fucking know. That's a sad thing. I've never done a fucking show.
So I build all the stat lists and stuff for it on the computer and whatever. And so basically, there's a mixer program on the computer, and that will go. I can't remember the line of operations, but from the mixer interface, whatever, it's going in. You'll have to explain it. I can't remember.
He's letting you drown.
Anyway,
he's letting you drown in it.
So it's awesome because Josh does he programs all of our lights. He builds all of our like DAW sessions. He's the man at doing all that. And then we have this like stupid spaceship that we control. And he doesn't have a clue.
I don't know how any of it works.
So anyways,
but basically
bullshit is in there, and it's bullshit connected to bullshit.
Yeah.
And none of it is cool. And there's a digital mixer in there that Scott Mackey helped us put all together. And
Nice.
I know you know Scott.
Oh yeah.
He's probably my favorite sound guy in town. He came over to the practice space and helped us build like an in-ear mix. And so like Josh wants just click and then our tracks that we have. And so all he has is just like metronome blasting in his ear the whole time he plays. Yeah. And then all I want is click and myself. So I have like my own mix. Everybody has like their own setup.
So everybody gets their like.
So you know when you got like monitor on.
So everybody gets to be.
So like I don't.
So let's put it in sports terms.
Like I don't want to hear him because like if he breaks a string or something and has to change a guitar, it's like gonna mess me up. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. So I just have like the stems, the guitar tracks in my ears with the click and all that stuff. So I don't hear you at all playing live.
That's all pretty new. We played like one or two shows like that. It's just the same concept of like having a monitor on stage and setting it to whatever you want it. Like, you know, telling the sound guy what you want, except for now when we go to a show, we have a snake that I literally just hand to the sound guy with like an input list, and I don't even have to talk to him.
Plug this in, here you go, and then we're good.
Easier inserts.
Here's 1 through 16, and I walk away, and it's his mess.
Oh, wow,
so
super easy.
Yeah.
So what is it? I'm understanding the new concept with everybody has their own monitor. So what did you do before that? What does everybody normally do?
Oh, monitors.
I
get them.
I don't explain that a little bit.
So I had like a cheap $40 Amazon set of in-ears. They range from $10 to $4,000.
Oh, yeah.
They're so expensive. So I just had a cheap $40 set, and basically I would just have a cable extender, plug that into the interface that we were using, and I would have click track and the same thing.
He's been doing that actually for probably 2 years.
Couple years, yeah.
So you come in with your own little rolling rack, and
now we're all in one rack. Right. So he's been playing on it forever, and then we just
I'm super used to it, so I don't know how you guys.
But now we actually picked up a deal with Perfect Seal. They make the I.E.M, so it's like that. There's just like
these.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So we went in there and they did like custom molds. They send like foam.
They mold your ear.
That way, it perfectly seals out everything.
And so you're not messing with it all while you're on stage and shit. I mean,
they won't. They won't
I had
come
that
out.
problem a lot with the cheap ones.
Yeah, because you're sitting there. I mean, especially you're back there. And you're like,
the one that just had the little tips in it and stuff that would just fall out.
Yeah, that's what I have.
I've had expensive ones. I've had
like of just the regular ones that have like a regular earbud on them.
Right.
And it doesn't matter what I do, I can't keep them in my ears.
Yeah, dude.
So,
And they tell you to like smile real big when you put them in, like you go like that, like, and then you put them in and it kind of makes your face
I
muscles
move
go
around
down.
too much.
But it still never works for me.
Yeah. So but those Perfect Seal ones, they're awesome. They did an endorsement with us, and
how could one find Perfect Seal earbuds if one was interested?
They're based here in town.
Such
We've been
things.
looking at 2 or 3 different places, and we've
They're based here?
They're based here in town. Yeah.
Oh, amazing! Nice.
They make they used to make them for audiologists, and they would do like hearing aids, and they would do I.E.Ms, and they also do if you're like an avid shooter or need earplugs, they'll make you custom made just like the plug itself. So there's no electronic in it. But,
so one could theoretically go to Perfect Seal, get these earbuds, and then go to Galaxy Audio here in town also, and get the whole in-ear setup and have a totally
we
local
use a Galaxy transmitter.
Yeah, awesome. No, I love those guys at Galaxy. I use a TQ8, which is a travel companion thing, and it's a battery-powered speaker that you can busk with and stuff. I take that on tour all the time.
Is that the one that's underneath you right now?
Yeah, it is actually. Yeah.
Yeah, so we don't have even with a big stage running around now we can.
Yeah, that's excellent.
And so that's cool. It helps us tighten up quite a bit too.
I personally never liked it. Like they separated me from the crowd, so I did this thing of hopping out a couple of these condenser mics into the crowd.
We just heard about that,
and that helped me just a whole lot with it. So
it's hard because even with original monitors and engaging with the crowd, I always struggle with that with connecting with because I play and it's like different. It's like a switch flips and I'm in it and I don't know. I couldn't tell you if the show is good or bad for the most part, unless something catastrophically happens or something that pulls me back to reality where I'm like,
where am I?
Some asshole rushing the stage.
We played at Elbow. One of the last shows, Elbow Room had a show, and Max fell on the stage.
Is that what happened?
He totally ate shit on stage.
Face plant?
I don't remember. I just remember no more bass was going on, and then Max was on the ground. Although I don't remember that. I can't make fun of him too much though because I think I have fallen on stage 4 or 5 times. I fell off the stage in Arkansas.
You jump around.
That's how you know you care, though. I mean, you are really putting on a show now.
I also didn't stop playing.
You just went hard on the ground with it?
Yeah.
Went straight Marty McFly with it?
Yeah.
Headstock's broken. Guitar's unplayable, but he's playing it.
Yeah.
Kicking the...
Oh, man.
I've definitely broken a handful of guitars on accident.
So where are metal bands going to play now that Elbow Room's gone?
Have you guys played in Wichita recently?
Nope.
It's been a while, right?
I haven't played since September, October in town.
Something like that, yeah.
And that was probably a temple show.
Yeah.
So hopefully somebody out there can get that.
Well, I'm trying here. But,
so we are playing on June 19th with Dawn Point and Varsity at Temple.
Excellent.
And then also For the Birds is playing that show.
Nice.
Which will be cool. I'm actually really excited.
So there's a summer show coming up where you guys are going to be. Say it one more time.
So we're June 19th. It's Sunday.
I want to make that happen.
Yeah, Dawn Point, Varsity, and For the Birds and Revisionist. I'm really excited about that one.
Do they make old fashions?
I was just talking to someone about that because at Temple I've just always seen beer. So I don't know if they have a liquor license.
Well, they do. I've been there. I've been to 2 shows there, and they were serving cocktails.
Oh, okay.
But if you get in the wrong line, you can't. There's 4 concessions up at that top spot.
Yeah.
2 of them got beer and booze, and then 2 of them just are
they're
selling.
changing and working on it.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I'm sure they're changing. It's been a while since I've been there.
I will.
They're a new venue. They're going to grow.
I have played in venues all over the country, and Rob and Tony's the old guy that came to the building when they got it. It is my favorite venue I think I've ever been to in the country.
It's super cool.
Now
that's a big statement. Are you talking just the way they run it, or the building itself?
The way they run it.
The way they run it. Good good on.
No, and also that's no diss on the building. It sounds awesome in there, and it's fun to play. And they're pre-staging area and backstage is just. It's perfect.
It is. It's fun to be there. I got to go to one of his shows.
There's one elevator you have to get everything into and out and load it out.
That's tiny. That thing's a liability.
Honestly,
everything's on borrowed time in that building.
But that place and Rob, who runs it, knows what he's doing. And then it's connected to. I mean, they gave us a shot with that Parallax show when they first reopened again after the pandemic, because they only done 1 or 2 shows I think before the pandemic.
Right, probably right.
And
I mean, us and Parallax co-headlined it. I think they said there was like 450 people that came out to it, and they gave us a shot. That's an expensive room, and they were like, "Yeah, we'll give you a shot to see if you can like put people."
That's what you have to do, though. I mean, you have to be invested to build that.
Help make you guys help them show. Is that how they?
Actually, so a lot of venues do that whole like pay to play bullshit.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. I didn't want to put them too like out there.
Oh no, if they did that, I would have a problem talking about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they don't do that. We're doing the Non-Point show. I asked Rob if I could have some tickets to help sell, but it's interesting because like some venues that do the pay to play, it's like I'm just like.
And explain that for our listeners that don't understand what that is.
It happens way more in the hip hop community than it does in heavy.
Yeah,
They'll be like,
I understand it, but
you got to sell they might tell you got to sell 50 tickets at $10 a piece to be able to play the show, and if you don't sell all 50 tickets and they're $500, and you got to come up with that money out of pocket to play.
You got to just fork it over. So you can
I'm going to say how much I hate that bullshit.
Yeah. So and then some venues will be like, well, you got to sell your tickets, and at the end of the day, it's like bands should be like the draw should speak for itself.
Yeah.
And then you should be promoting their own.
Well, yeah.
Do you guys get a nut? Do you guys get a nut of that ticket sales though? That's the thing. They make you sell. Yeah, they make you sell those tickets. No. Give me 10% of that ticket sales, then, motherfucker. I don't carry these motherfuckers around.
And that's the problem. Is that like it's the exposure argument, and but it's different.
I'm selling exposure to their concessions.
But it's different when you feel like a team. So like we're up at Temple for like everything. We help out.
Right.
When Rob came into town, obviously didn't know a lot of people, and then we've got a lot of experience with big venues, traveling, touring, knowing how to interact with all those like situations. And so they would bring us in, and Josh they have him do running, being a runner for shows. We're helping them sell merch for bands. We're and so they've really opened up the doors with us, and we've all became kind of part of the Temple family. We actually just shot a music video there.
Oh, nice, really? They're letting people do that shit too?
In what room?
No.
So don't go calling the Temple Live trying to shoot videos.
Yeah, but also it's like,
how cool.
Yeah,
it's hard because there's so much, you get yourself into trouble in there, or you get hurt, or you
have a liability with if you break a doorknob in that joint.
I mean, we have been in there.
$13,000 doorknob.
I thought I did.
We have been in there easily 75 times already.
Oh, dude, so cool.
And Rob, I mean, basically, he knows that we've built a level of like professional respect and trust. And so that day we were there 2 days, and it was just like, come do your thing, And
okay, so hear me out. I'm going to give you guys this idea because I have it, but it's it's a harder image than I could use for my band. So I'll give this to you. You know that like in between the two buildings, there's that little weird walkway.
You know what I'm talking about? In between that,
to where the walls of the two buildings are like that.
Yeah.
Like I see this stacked thing, like if you could whittle your way up, like band members stacked up, take that shot, I think that'd be a killer like band promo shot.
We did 3 videos.
You put it out on the ether.
I'm just saying.
So there's at least 10 people going to know about it.
But who's got the connections? These two.
Yeah,
these two.
I've heard
they know what I'm talking about.
And I've heard this reciprocated from every artist that talks about Temple. It gets nothing but praises from the way they treat their artists, the way they're nice to the people that buy tickets there. I mean, it's quickly becoming the spot to be.
They're fantastic.
Yeah. And there's like 6 of them around the country. Mm-hmm. So you start getting
they're buying more too.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I mean, they're taking over. It sounds like.
Side note: I think Temple has come up in every one of your episodes.
Oh yeah,
it probably has.
Has it?
Well, kudos to you.
You've been watching our episodes?
Yeah, that's good enough.
That's amazing. Yeah,
because I forget. I'm terrible with names.
Santia.
Oh yeah, you knew exactly what spot.
Yeah.
So she was talking about like, I'm like selective with show because the floor. It was like. If I'm going to go, it better be a show that I'm willing to die for.
Yeah, she did say that. Yeah,
I did watch that.
Yeah, you did 100%. 100%. This guy's a fan.
So we shot 3 videos over like 4 days.
Yes.
Is this recently Is this
like a month ago.
So you got a new album coming, right? Mm-hmm. So tell us a little bit about that.
We just finished recording that new record in December. And I work at a bar here called Lucky's, and we actually recorded the whole record in the loft that's right upstairs.
And it's unfinished, it looked like.
Yeah, so at the time, now they have put up sheetrock and all this other stuff, but at the time it was like nothing. There's no walls.
There wasn't power HVAC in there when we, like, the week before we started recording.
Yeah, there was nothing. Like,
it was supposed to be.
Well, what it's used for is a bunch of extra stuff for Lucky's.
Right,
and
Alex, storage and stuff?
Yeah, that's all that it is. And Alex Thomas, the guy who owns it, who owns Cotillion and Kirby's and all this great stuff here, he's like, yeah, you guys can use it if you want. I have a couple of other places down south if you want to use it, but I don't know about like security as much. He's like, there's more security here at Lucky's than there is.
And he was like, I'm trying to get it finished for my apartment.
Yeah.
And so it was in April, right?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, and he's like, well, it should have all these things done. And Aaron, the guy who produced the record, moved us back like a month from October. And he's like, what was it? Something like, Alex was like, yeah, that helps us a lot. We're a little behind.
Yeah, so I had talked to him.
And Josh goes up there and looks at it.
Well, yeah, so I was the first one to go up and see it, and I was like, oh, this place is really dope. And I was like, what needs to be done? And he's like, well, I'm going to put in electrical and heat and like do this and this and this and this and this or whatever.
There was no insulation, no sheetrock.
Oh, yeah. It looked bare bones. It looked bare bones.
So he had all these plans.
And all the drains and water and shit, at least.
Yeah.
Well, a hole in the floor for the toilet.
So no bathroom.
No bathroom.
Just raw.
You have to like go downstairs, unlock the door, set the alarm,
or just have good aim and pee in the hole in the floor.
Yeah, it's all going to the same spot. It really is.
I'm not going to say if we did
Trade
it.
secret.
You totally did that. It totally happened. Sorry.
Sorry, Alex. Love you.
So we got pushed back about a month, and I talked to Alex about it. I go, hey, I know we have this day scheduled, but is it okay if we push it back like another month? Because Aaron has scheduled whatever. He goes, oh, yeah, that's totally fine. It's not quite done yet. And I was like, oh, okay, can I go up and see, like, just see what is done? He said, sure. So I take the key and I go up there, and I'm like, there's just more chairs up there.
This was like, wasn't in October when we rescheduled. You did this like middle of November. We had like 3 weeks.
Was it that short?
It was real short. Because
you guys had the whole record hammered out already? Like most of the songs, nothing?
Well, we had like 30 demos done. Okay. We like 38, like 25 kind of like almost completed songs and like 5-6 demos. But like we rewrite with Aaron as we go, our producer. But yeah, so
yeah, we were looking up there, and he's up there with me, and he's just kind of like looking around, and I was like, oh, there's more chairs up here than last time.
More storage, more stuff.
Nothing.
No power.
Nothing got done, yeah. So I sent a video to him and the other guys in the band, and I'm like, I don't know, like...
We might not be able to do this.
Yeah.
You know what? I started making phone calls for backup plans, and like that was the same week. Because it was down to the wire enough that Aaron had also just bought his plane ticket.
Mm-hmm.
So it might have been like the week of that we got in there. Because we found out the first time we got in there was the day before Eric and I left for Utah to pick up the stuff.
I don't know if we found out about it that late, but
I think it was pretty close. Right. But anyway, it was way too close for comfort.
Right. Yeah. You're looking at a 3-week time to
or less
do this whole record, and the
guy's not gonna fly.
So why is your back up against the wall? Why do you have to have the record done in this time period?
Well, so we had only booked out the first 2 weeks of December was the rescheduled date. So it's like, okay, we have 2 weeks to do this record. That's just the allotted time. And then when I go up there and see that nothing's done, like no power or anything, I'm like, oh shit. Like
we're a week behind on getting this.
We don't even have power to plug in a computer.
We're shitting in a hole.
Yeah.
We're shitting in a hole up here.
Yeah. Which we also did.
I was going to say.
We didn't do that.
Alleged.
I was like, who dropped the log on that hole?
Yeah, we did not do that. But no, the reason why it was so scary is because we found out that nothing was done really that few weeks before we started recording the record. So we were like, oh shit, like, what are we going to do if there's no power the day we start recording?
Well, the reason our backs are against the wall is the guy that produced the record is in multiple bands. And then he is a producer for day jobs. So he works with a publication, or he's got a publisher that he writes songs 5 days a week for people. And so his band released a record and was releasing one in like January, February, and then had a tour with like Spirit Locks, and it was supposed to be every time of night at the time. And they were doing a full US tour. And then he's like, if we don't do it now, you don't get to do it until like summer, and even that's not even a guarantee. Mm-hmm. And because of the pandemic, we did the EP with him in Albuquerque, and we got pushed back 5-6 different times where we were like
reserving Airbnbs to go, and then like the week of
Then it would cancel.
And so we went from like April all the way to November for that. So you're getting flashbacks of like, oh my God. And then he's taking time. So the experience that we got is not normal. Like, he's not a guy that was like, hey, let's go record it on Indie Loft and have, killer time. This guy, has been doing this for 25, 30 years. And he's worked with like bands. We got to work with him, but then when we were in Albuquerque, we had like a session with like Bruno Mars's producer, and like he was telling us a story of being like hungover in Nashville with like Taylor Swift's writer. Like,
no, it was food poisoning. That's what it was.
No, because he said that's why I quit drinking.
No, he said it was food poisoning.
Oh, was it?
Yeah,
I thought it's because he was like fucking.
That's why he quit eating.
That's right. Yeah, he doesn't need any.
But anyways, he gets all these like really cool experiences, but he's got this like VFW Hall DIY punk rock, like it's still in him somewhere. And so it was an experience that I don't think if we would have got it done then, we probably never would have gotten that experience.
So when you get that opportunity, like you guys are usually sitting on like 25.
No, we were new.
This is the first. Yeah, we had this booked for a while, so we knew that there was a timeline.
Yeah, we had like 6-8 months.
So is that where you put you guys in the DIY punk rock? Like. What would you say?
Angry rock and roll.
I don't even know.
There's
so many like
good.
There's shit fucks.
Yeah,
I love it.
This shit slaps.
Yeah, there you go.
But
I like slaps.
But he
fucking makes me laugh. I don't know.
He works with like all these like from all like a bunch of big artists, and the fact that he was like, hey, so we had a really good time the last time we worked. Awesome. You never know
before this loft time.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why you guys are like,
you never know.
We gotta make this work.
You never know if it's going to go well. You hear horror stories about producers, and
personality's got to be a big part of it. Like, you guys gotta mesh a little.
You got to mesh, but they got to understand what you want to do, and then also help you develop it as opposed to just taking over.
Right.
And we recorded we recorded in a beautiful studio last year, and it's immaculate. The guy who owns it used to be like the head engineer of something. He's like RCA's head engineer for like a decade, and recorded like Jaco Pastorius, and had Mickey Free up there. Prince's guitarist, like a month after we were there, and so it was cool. But Aaron was like, I want to come. I'll sleep on your couch for 2 weeks.
You want to punk rock it with you?
He's like, I want to do something that is just like special.
Well, it sounds like you got a special dude doing that with you too.
Well, and after the first EP, most producers, once the songs are done, they're bye.
Put it out in the ethos next project.
Yeah, they just don't care.
Well, I mean, that's kind of
maybe they don't care, but that's just not how the industry works.
It's not that they don't care. It's just they're on to the next project. I can't
dwell on this forever.
Well, and a lot of times it's not personal.
And it's a lot of times, it's your guys' art too. Like they gotta just help you, and then they gotta go do the same thing for somebody else.
I think we talked almost every week after that, and then he hit me up and was like, "Hey, I think that we didn't get near enough time to do what I wanted to do."
Yeah, right.
And he's like, "Is a good EP. The music rips. I've heard it before, and that wasn't the goal." He's like, "I've heard other bands. Like I've heard this thing come out before." And he was like,
and if you believe in him and you believe in, the thing, you want to go, right? You want to go.
I want to build an identity, and I think we have a lot of work left to do. And if you'll trust me, I kind of want to do a full length with you. And he actually helped engineer the new Under Oath record that they did. And so he was like fresh from like recording bands. Because that's not he normally produces. He doesn't do the engineering side. I know he does. It's just not all the
He can.
Let's give this guy the shout. This is Aaron Gillespie.
Gillespie.
Let's give him a shout out.
Paramore, Under Oath. He's still in the Almost.
Look, I'm sure he can engineer, but can you focus on both? You know what I mean? Like,
How
much?
You
know what I mean? Like, I would rather you focus on.
No, that was where the creativity flew.
That was
when you get to hear the music.
That was the coolest thing to me was like watching him work.
Right.
Because he's so just like the way his brain works is so unreal. Like it's so quick.
There's a lot of you guys in this industry that are these quiet, beautiful geniuses, and it's fun to watch all of you work. Believe it or not. From the outside looking in. Well, yeah. Sometimes when you meet some people, you're like, "Well, we're barely the same thing." But
so that's why our backs were against the wall, and we were scrambling. Like, actually, Rob at the time wasn't president of Temple yet; he was just running this one.
Right.
And he was like, "Listen, I think I can sneak you into a room upstairs, and I'll just ask for forgiveness later. So he was like on deck to like.
If the loft doesn't work.
Is that if you couldn't do that, if you couldn't make that work, at least you'd have one other.
Somebody I knew.
So what are you like trying to do? Just make a studio real quick to record it, or like
like just makeshift like our own setup.
And what do you need to make that in a makeshift studio?
I mean, look around you.
I know, but like, is there like?
You got to have a really good ear. So the two, so like
the room matters probably.
But drums are really hard to get good tone.
Yeah, they are.
But he's a drummer. And he's been doing this for.
So he knows. So he knows all of his tricks.
There were some unknowns like that. Real high ceilings, and we were worried we were going to have to make it. So Jason Catlett from Magnitude Creative loaned us like some partitions and a bass track.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, do you just create walls out of fucking nowhere, or do you got to actually?
We also like
you got to treat the space it is.
We got like some packing blankets and just stapled them up for a makeshift vocal booth.
Put
like
rugs on the ground. It was a big space.
You're just trying to kill vibration as much as you can. Yeah,
and then
it can be ugly, man, but.
It doesn't matter how it looks.
So you gotta have.
Well, something about the ugly, I even see the twinkle in all three of your guys' eye. You like that? You like that grit a little bit.
But Aaron knows drums, and he brought all this gear from. We had to go pick it up in Salt Lake, and he brought $50,000 gear out, and he brought his drum. He's got an old 50 Slingerland he uses all the time, but it's the same drums that he used on some of the Under Earth recordings.
Those are the best drums. Sounds so good.
Brought all this gear, and then was like, just trust me and I'll make it sound and I'll get what you need. Right. And then I am a gear nerd about
guitar. You like it. You like it.
I had our practice. I mean, there's probably,
I feel like you need that guy.
You got to see the pictures. There was probably easily 10 to 12 guitar cabs up there and 15 amps.
The worst.
And
the worst in this.
So you understand G.A.S.
Right.
Gear acquisition syndrome.
And then there's.
I love how we didn't even add an
never heard that.
You never heard that?
No. I've never heard
all of us musicians, we have very bad gas. Gear acquisition syndrome.
All right.
I have currently a storage unit for the gear I can't use right now.
Aaron was like, he thought we were going to do some like modeling or like profile stuff for guitars. He has this really rad, like super cool Strymon pedal that'll do like cab emulation, and you can do it from like an AC-15. Yeah, an AC-15 that's like a Marshall Foxy or whatever. And I was like, man, I got all this gear up here, and like, I know you're not used to people knowing how their gear works, but like, I know
exactly what
you always have been. I mean, from day one when I met you, you were always talking about
like, just let me try. I was like, give me 30 minutes. Give me 30 minutes on this first song, and if you think it sucks, I will.
Then we'll go. Then we can try your other shit.
Acquiesce. I will bow to the God of the Rim.
That's fair enough.
But as the artist, I would like to try this first.
I don't even think it was as the artist. I think it was just some dumb person.
No, that was your nerd coming out.
Oh, and your nerd flex. I mean, that's
what it was.
Yeah. You gotta flex a little bit sometimes. You spend time learning that shit.
So the motto that, I mean, he instilled this in us, but song is king. I don't give a shit what your feelings are, who plays what you're doing with it, what the demo sounded like. When people go, well, we rewrote this, but I'm so used to how the demo sounded. And he's like, I don't fucking care how the demo sounded. Does this sound good? Because song is king. I don't give a shit about whatever else is around it. And so, so it's like we wanted to try, and then we got really good like guitar tone, and he was like, this is going to be it. And so it was cool because we also, the drums, other than snares swapping out every now and then, the drums and bass stayed mostly the same the whole record. And we didn't use one. Normally you go in and you record like all your drums for every song first, and then you do all your layers from there. And with Aaron, we do a song a day. So Josh would go in and play drums for fucking 10 minutes because he's better than all of us at playing to a click. And then we like play all the layers and get done for the day. But every day, him and I would sit and like rebuild the guitar tone. So no two songs had the same guitar amps and set up on them. So,
which I think is pretty cool.
Yeah. So every song is a little bit different, and so,
you can just say it there and shit.
We can cut for a second.
Pause. We don't have to do that. Just tell me what you want.
We really don't do that.
Yeah, fuck it. I like it. I like it better like this anyway.
It's more fun.
So
it's more.
It was a huge blessing to get to work with it. And then from
so you guys hunkered down over Lucky's, shitting through a hole.
No,
we didn't shit.
Allegedly,
we didn't shit.
And rocked out the album there in what, 2 weeks?
We were supposed to have 2 weeks to do it, and we finished the record and the whole thing in 6.5 days.
Oh, that's not too bad.
It was really quick. I was really bummed.
So
recording is like my favorite thing. Like I love doing it, and so when we finished it up, I was like, shit.
We got so far ahead. We did
My
an extra
fun's
song.
done.
I used to hate recording.
Really?
Yeah, same. But it's awesome. He makes it like we all vibe. We're actually gonna. So the goal is he signed up. He wants to do another record. So it's been good enough that we're.
Well, you guys are good enough too. Give you guys some credit. You guys got records to help. I mean, it's a double-edged sword. I mean, he needs you guys too. So I mean, you giving this guy much credit.
He doesn't need us at all.
These guys have people coming at him to be asked to do a second record. That's
that means he. I mean, I don't know the guy, but I'm just saying if he. Speaking for this Aaron guy. So, but if he was able to work with you guys that quick, it was a seamless process. You guys gelled. He's willing to do it again. Then there's good on you too. I know you guys are giving this guy all the credit.
I don't care how good you are. If you're in my studio and I don't like you,
so he likes working with you too, as much as you guys working with him. If we have,
for sure.
If we have him sitting here, which would be great to have him on a podcast, he's gonna talk about you guys the way you talk about him.
No,
so that's all I'm saying.
It was a perfect fit. It was the right choice.
So. And that's hard to find. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And when you find it, don't take it for granted. That's awesome.
And he's hard on us, and that's
what I want. That's what I want.
I like that little bit of like, as long as it's not too cunty, I want a little bit of like real truth.
So I worked with a guy named Jim Gaines, and we did 3 or 4 records together. And Jim Gaines did like Steve Miller Band, Santana, Stevie Ray Vaughan, all these guys, you know. And he loves to like sit there and tell you stories about it, you know. And he goes, "Yeah, man. So I was recording Stevie Ray Vaughan on the Instep record, and he goes, the first solo he played was perfectly fine, but I knew if that was the first thing he's given me, like it can get better. Yeah, that's just what I've been shown as a producer, right?" So he lets him take like 3, and he goes, "This is getting better and better every time." And he's like, "So I don't know what to do." He's like, "I give him a little bit of pressure now," and I go, "We're almost there, Stevie. We're almost there. If you can give me just a little bit more, you know what I mean? Really try to give it to me." Yeah. And that just like pissed Stevie off because Stevie knows what he does on the guitar, and I think it pissed Stevie off, and now he's like really hammering it. That's wild. What a producer does right there.
It's wild because there's so many schools of thought and ways to do it.
Of course.
Like I remember when we were in Albuquerque, Ken Riley, he was like, start talking about what he wanted and who can do it. And we're all in the room going, who's got an idea? And we were playing hot potato with the guitar. And he would be like, 3, 2, 1, I'm hitting record. And like somebody was having to like, shit. And then it was like one of those things where he was like putting pressure on us. But a lot of times he was like, first 1 or 2, he was like, that's what you were feeling. Because like with these guys, it was like, man, all I care about is like the feel. I want to create moments. And so they're like, if this, it's like we can overthink it to death.
Right.
Let's go.
And that's typically what we do.
It was crazy though because he wouldn't let us.
Yeah. That's typically what we do.
It's tough to not do that.
Precisely why limitations breed creativity.
Well, and I tell John all the time the same thing is a mix is never really completed. It's surrendered. Or it's a band.
I always say
you know what I mean?
It'll never get released if you don't. Yeah.
Well, it never is. I write bits, so it's similar. Like when you, as two musicians, like eventually though, you just gotta fucking let it go.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah, you can over massage that motherfucker, and then you just sometimes you gotta move on to something new because
what I do is I run out of trusted friends that tell me it sounds good.
Well, the problem is this day and age, if you get it too close to where you're satisfied. And I know a lot of musicians are perfectionists and have a lot of trepidation about releasing their art because it's a big
deal.
It's vulnerable. It's a vulnerable thing to release. I mean, my asshole clenches every time we release a podcast, so I kind of get it. Yeah. But like in this day and age, when this day and age, when everybody's looking for brand new content, like you got to get it to where you think it's good and let it go and move on to making new shit. Yeah. Because this day and age, nobody gives a fuck about waiting. Well, like there's nobody waits for nothing.
It's also so subjective too. I mean, we did a friend of Aaron's, his name's Mo Mars. He is a pop mixer and mastering guy. While he works on these massive pop projects, he lives in Iceland, and he's awesome. So good. Like we could never afford him if he wasn't Aaron's friend, and they both weren't like giving us like massive.
I mean that's how it works a little bit. Sometimes you got to do a little good old boy system.
We didn't want to do a traditional like heavy mix engineer, like typically like just music.
That's my approach. I love this. Yeah.
We also, it's like the way we used guitars, and it wasn't like turn the gain up and go. It was like we were using like almost all the leads we did on a Strat and standard tuning on a AC-15 copy combo dime. Like, was trying to like build textures but Bo, he's awesome, and we wanted the band to still feel a little raw, but be able to be polished enough to compete with the rest of this market that we're in.
Yeah.
And so everyone's like, I got the perfect guy for it. And we got this different mix.
Right.
But it's crazy because I got, like, my buddy Jeff is a mix engineer, and a couple of friends I showed it to, and he called me back laughing, like, oh, holy shit, how's it feel to be in a band? You fucking tear it up. This is awesome. And he didn't like our EP that we did. So I know we have a very honest relationship. He was like, I hated this.
I prefer this.
He was like ecstatic. There was no middle ground.
I like everybody like that.
But another friend of mine
be real with me. Be real with me, man.
Another friend, he works for G.A.S, who's he used to be in Defeater, and he runs a really known studio and does all the hardcore records. And I was like, hey man, just check this out, because sometimes you're also like, I'm not a mix engineer, so I don't know what to ask for. Sometimes I'm asking for someone to help me the terminology. And then he called me back and he was like, he messaged me and was like, I hate it. Like, I had to suffer through it, And
I listened to it, but I did not like it.
But you gotta respect the man for at least.
It wasn't the final, and there's a couple of things we tweaked and figured out along the way, but it was polarizing, which is really cool.
I think that's the best spot to be in.
It was what? It was polarizing. Like how? Like within your band or polarizing?
No, like with the mix engineer. I thought it was like even those two guys that are mix engineers, both of them were like...
They had differing opinions.
Friends. And I had another two friends that I've known. One guy used to help manage us, full-time touring musician for 20 years. Both of them. Really respected. I mean, guys that have toured with like Sepultura and Cannibal Corpse, and guys on the other side have toured with like As I Lay Dying, and these are guys that have done it that are substantial. And same thing. One of them called me and was like, he used to manage bands. Like, can I send this to some friends? Like, I want to back this. And then my other friend called me and was like, I thought you were joking. And I was like,
oh my God, right? Why would I be joking?
It's just so wild to hear that, like, it's one or the other.
Yeah.
There was no, like, it's pretty good. So it was just like, hell yes or hell no.
Man, I'd rather shit my hands and clap than listen to this. Or it was like,
so I've taken this stance lately. Like, I did a reggae record in 2020. And we sent it out to Matt Bayless, who is the keyboard player for Minus the Bear.
Yeah. He did Norma Jean.
And he did like Mammoth.
Yeah.
And like some pretty heavy stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm coming at him with a reggae record. He's going, this will be the first reggae record I ever do. I'm kind of scared.
Yeah.
And I go, I fucking love that. That's awesome. You know what I mean? Please give me that.
Yeah.
So do you have a reggae band that you play with, or is that just you just?
Well, I did. And funny thing, I'm going to make a long story very short, but my reggae band, we lost our singer. We tried another one. It didn't work out. I became the lead singer of the band. And then, what happened was a friend of mine from Bakersfield moved in, and now we're his backing blues band.
That's cool.
That's Orphan John.
One of the guys that is a feature on the record we're doing. He's in a pretty big, like, heavy band.
Yeah.
But he is doing working out some deal. He's like got a reggae band. He's like solo project he's doing, and I'm so stoked.
Dude, I think a reggae band has a total advantage. That's why I wanted to be in one anyway. Like, I love reggae.
Well, especially
so Alex Thomas. We were talking about Alex Thomas earlier, right?
Yeah.
Oh, Phil.
Yeah.
I was the first bass player of Phil.
Cool. Really? Yeah. I didn't know that. That's cool.
Way back in the day, 95-ish.
Yeah, it's crazy how that all like.
Well, the music scene kind of goes full circle in this town, and you. Well, how long have you been playing music in this town?
Very close.
I'm not from here.
Where are you originally from?
I'm originally from Emporia, but I had moved. I've been playing music from Amarillo and Arkansas.
So we've known each other like 5 years ish, something like that. 4 or 5 years, yeah. So have you lived here that whole time?
That's about that time.
About that time.
Yeah. So
and for everybody that he's the brainchild behind Revisionist. He's like, you're the original. You can take credit. Look at that.
See,
I love that. I love that cringy musician.
You can't call me the brainchild. It's a collective.
Yeah, but I mean, you've been here from the beginning. It's okay to say that you've been running this from the beginning. I've seen you on your hustle since the fucking elbow room. Since the day I met you, you were on your hustle from the very beginning.
Shut up, over.
Yeah, I mean, I was trying to do a podcast way back in those days. We were talking. I was talking about it. That I finally got here.
No. But the real story. You guys have a badass band. you guys are taking that band outside of Wichita,
fucking all over,
and you guys are becoming a regional project. Regional,
shit, national. You guys are getting close.
Well, we start regional. You go into Illinois. That's pretty rad.
We got a really good team of people helping us out, and
takes
like it's kind of it's become a family.
Yeah.
And like we were talking about the reggae thing, but like you remember the band POD?
Oh yes.
Sonny, their singer, is on the record.
On your upcoming record?
Nice.
So do they come? Does he come into Lucky's and jump up?
That would have been so cool. That would be so cool.
It's like, how does that work when you get like a big featured artist?
I got him to agree to be in a music video for that song if we can get like the logistics figured out.
Nice.
And if we do it, there's a chance he might fly out, or we might have somebody do it there for his part or whatever.
Well, what I'm saying, I think you guys are crushing it.
Yeah.
I think you're crushing it.
That was why I was bringing that up. Though. It was like,
it's
the network. Like,
he
wanted to help us out, and he's been helping out for a while.
Awesome.
And Aaron did this like. I mean, I'm pretty sure the dude lost money helping us out. So,
well, that sounds like you need. Sometimes you need. I think he's looking for it on the back end. Like if he's trying to already do another album with you, he sees something in you guys that he's investing long term. So when is there. So like we're getting close to our time here.
He just wants to with me.
Yeah, well, I mean, or maybe you really, So, but when's this album coming out? Where can we get all your social media stuff? Like take some time and pimp at Revisionist as much as you can. Like when's that releasing? You got videos you're doing, all that stuff. We'll give you the table to let everybody know everything that's coming out. Either one of you, go ahead.
A bunch of unknowns.
Yeah.
So we got a little behind earlier in this year. We had a bunch of things we were working on and just was having some just logistical things not work out. But looks like the first single will come out around the time of that non-point show, so early June.
Nice.
First music video we got back, a version of it this week, something like that. Mm-hmm. And then
pretty close.
So a lot of midsummer stuff.
Midsummer for the first single, and then we're going to be doing like a waterfall release, so we'll have another single and video come out 6 to 8 weeks later, and then another one, and then we're shooting another. Like, we basically have 4 with this one videographer, 3 already shot. We're doing one more, and then we're doing one with our buddy Saul from Austin, who did our noise. I don't know if you saw our live session that we did.
Yes.
Which actually, that's what I was going to try to send you over for the podcast.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that. So
he shot all of that.
Hang on to after this show for that live session.
But he's the one that shot all that, and he's going to come to a premiere. We're doing an album premiere show that we're trying to work out the details on. So the record will be like late fall or early next year, depending on how many of these we get sorted. Yes. But singles will be coming out.
So where can we find any of your current stuff?
And where do we go to find notifications for when those things come out?
Pre-save.
We're subscribe all your social media and
pre-save.
So you'll be able to do a pre-save.
Yeah, nice.
Spotify, Apple Music.
Great. Is that Revisionist? Whatever. We'll put links to all this stuff. I'll get links from Joshua and all this stuff.
Yeah,
we'll put it out.
Revisionist Official on Instagram. Revisionist 316 on YouTube. So
great. So I can't wait. Thank you guys for doing this. I really appreciate it. We got to wrap. We're getting close to our time here. I'm definitely coming to the show when you guys do at the Temple. I can't wait for that.
That'll be fun.
He says that, but he hasn't seen us in 5 years.
Well, you still owe me a ticket, if I'm honest.
You bought one.
How are you going to support it, man? You don't buy a ticket?
I do. I buy tickets to shows.
He bought a ticket to a show. I think that got canceled.
I will tell you, I buy tickets to shows even if I can't.
He bought this shirt even though Johnny was going to give him that shirt.
Well, I buy the reason I did that giveaway is because I was like, there's no way Johnny's got a fucking shirt that's going to fit my ass. And that show was tonight where we're filming, so I wasn't going to be able to make the show. So a lot of times, like you're selling tickets at a place. I'll give you $20 for a ticket that I might never even go to. I'm just trying to support local shit. So, and if I get to make it, so then I decided, well, fuck this. Why don't I give this away since I'm getting it anyway? So to give you guys a little bit extra publicity. So.
That way the ticket still goes to a body.
Instead of them just pocketing the money and somebody will go there. And my trick is give away one ticket. So the motherfuckers going with them got to buy their own ticket.
There you go. That's it. That's the way.
But anyway, thanks for tuning in. I appreciate you guys doing this.
Thank you for having us.
Wrap this bad boy and get out.
Aaron Austin Show.
Check us out.
Please subscribe. Please go check out Revisionist. Like them motherfuckers.
Yeah, subscribe and everything that everybody's got going on. You guys watch videos, but that one subscribe. I know log in with your damn email. It ain't that hard.
It doesn't matter. It's weird.
I know everybody gets that spot where you're a guest on YouTube. Now fucking put your email in and make a profile and get us a subscribe.
Can I hear my theme song one more time?
All right, thanks, guys.
I think so.
Thank you so much, man.
Is it a podcast? Is it a show? Aaron and Austin, they don't even know.